Okay, getting ready to show you around the bike, and I'm going to switch to another camera. I'll stage it later. All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Ride to the Sun. And this is a 2022 Road Glide ST. I'm going to try to give you a walk around the things that I've done so far. I had this bike, I think, since the beginning of the year when it first came out. I think it was one of the first few to be sold. I think that might have been the first or second one in this particular area here in Virginia. Okay, so the Road Glide ST, I expected a lot, and I think so far I wouldn't say I'm disappointed. I think we may have a few things for Harley to consider. As it stands, this is the bike. I'm going to take a quick walk around tonight. I'm going to walk back into the front and start you off to see what this bike is about. Of course, it's been a few months now since this bike came out, and many of you have either seen it, heard it, or have seen something on it on YouTube, or you may have seen it from your buddy or whomever. But it's no longer this unicorn, so you've seen it. So I'm going to try to hit some of the good points of this bike, some of the, I wouldn't say not so good, but some of the not so flattering parts of this bike. But of course, I actually just learned what SD meant on this bike. I always thought it was sport, but it's really sport touring. Of course, the Road Glide is the Road Glide. It is what it is. It's not much different than a special, but there are some particulars about this particular bike. For one, for the 2022 version of this, just like the CVO, it sports the 117 V-twin engine. So for the front of the bike, I start at the top and come down. The one screen I chose is the LRS, the Long Ride Shield. And it's not a bad shield. I'll take you around, excuse me for a second, to see the profile on it. It's 12-inch, and it does the job. It keeps the wind off of me, and it does an outstanding job. Why did I choose the LRS? I had a similar, I think it's not the same, might have been a Thresher on my 17 Road Glide. I think it's the same that I had on my 17 Road Glide, denim black. Pretty much similar bikes. Of course, that one had the 107 in it. This is again the 117, as you can see. It's labeled several places on the bike. So, having said all of that, of course, coming down. Oh, let me go back up for a second. The turn signals are custom dynamics. They light up. And when you turn, they flash and they change colors and all that good stuff. They make the bike really attractive, especially at nights. Even during the day when daylight running, they look absolutely perfect. Of course, it has LEDs for the front lamps. It comes like that, so you don't have to worry about getting LEDs unless you want to light up the sun. But other than that, I think that's about it. Of course, if you look to this little piece right here, when I changed my handlebar to the factory 47 12 inches, it was not long enough, especially the clutch area. Everything else was great, but the clutch line was not long enough, at least for me. Some people say you could go up to 14. I felt the need that I needed to change that and make sure that I compensate for that height. The wheels are the same bronze wheels that it comes with. The LEDs, excuse me, the turn signals, of course, are LEDs. Just some back caps over the axle nuts to flush it out. You might be able to see it, or you may not. It's actually dirty right now, so please forgive me. I just had to do this now, or I don't know when I was going to do it. You could probably see some places. It's not a perfect job, but I did do a PPF job on this myself and my wife, with the help of my wife, I should say, to protect the front of the bike for the meantime. It turned out okay. You can hardly see it unless you walk right up on it. I didn't do the front fender. It was a little bit more difficult with the contour. I might try it again. The lamp itself in the front is also PPF, just to keep the nicks and the dings off of the lamp itself. Keep it cleaner for a longer period of time. Great looking bike, at least for me anyway, in my mind. Of course, you know, the infotainment on this. I turned it on so you could see it power up. We could kind of try and go through it real quickly. Go through here. Let's see if we pick up the iPhone 6. I did pull the dongle for like $12 on Amazon, so you could do Apple Carplay. It was fairly simple. Remove the front fairing and just attach it to this dongle, and you're good to go. And you have Apple CarPlay. You could filter through your Spotify, your maps, you name it. You could go back. Let me see. This is a bike's navigation. You hit CarPlay. You go here. See different views. Okay, that's the HD app. I have yet to use it. I always forget. As soon as I get on the bike, I forget. The settings, Amazon Music pops up, audiobooks, of course Waze, great thing to use. Probably looks like I need some gas. Okay, and the handlebar is the heated grips. Install these when I install the bar. The traction control that comes with the RDRS system on these bikes, which is a great value to many of us that own these bikes, I think. The Power Vision 3B, which is wired underneath the tank here and is hooked up right underneath here to the dongle. Now, if you roll down towards the engine area, you will see the new floorboards. These are called Crust Thread. A company called Crust Thread. If you can see right here in the rear, they're quite light. And this thing comes with just the toe shifter, but I want heel toe. Don't necessarily love it. I'm not a big heel toe guy, but it works. Plus, it comes with the engine guard, the mustache, as it is shaped. You could probably see the PPF on the tank as well. You probably see where it breaks right here, because I can just do one big piece, just to protect where my leg come in contact with the tank, keep it from getting scratched. And the bike itself doesn't come with passenger pegs. I think that's a mistake. I think they should send it with passenger pegs, at least a minimal type. So you don't have to go buy any if you don't want to. You're paying enough for this bike. So I know they're trying to call it weight savings, but just give us something. We'll figure it out. I added these saddlebag guards. They're just Harley. I didn't want anything too fancy, so I went just the Harley saddlebag guards for the meantime. I don't think I'm going to change anything, but that's where it is thus far. The suspension itself, actually, when I first bought the bike, as much as they waved about this bike, its ability to go on track and do everything track related, what it was made for, all this hoopla, I actually thought, let me turn the bike off real quick, ignition. I actually thought that he came with an enhanced suspension, but it's the same as what's on the special. And you pay a little bit more, a premium for this bike. And I thought if Harley was going to separate this bike, because this color scheme, the gunship gray and the black that comes in the SD also comes in the main line, so that doesn't differentiate it. The suspension is the same as what was on the special, or what is on the special. So I went with the Legends level arcs, and that's what you're seeing here. You know, you can see, you might be able to see the shocks a little bit as I zoom in. Okay, you can see the shocks. You can see the canisters on top. The canister holders are not what came with them. The ones that come with the Legends level arcs are just trash. They mount somewhere down here, and you can't get them to act right. So I had to dispose of those and go with the Carbon Visionaries, I believe. Very expensive, but very nice piece. I got them in black. I do think they come also polished. That's what you're seeing right here. So hopefully I'm not too far in. I'm holding this in my hand. No gamble, so hopefully just bear with me. So back here it's just really LEDs. This bike just came with these regular incandescent bulbs, halogen, whatever you want to call them. But other than that, the bag's also PPF. You might be able to pick it up. Most of it is PPF'd. Replace the handles on the side of the bag with black handles, just to go with the scheme of the bike, with the black bronze, and of course the main color being gunship gray. The seat itself has a detachable backrest, and I believe it's CNC. I believe it is. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. Great seat. Of course, the complemental wheel